What is going on, everybody? It's the Frost, and we're here for our Hell in a Cell review for June 20th, 2021. The final pay-per-view inside the Blunder Dome. That's right, next time we're on a pay-per-view in 4 weeks, it'll be in Texas, in front of your fans. No more of this bullshit in Hell in a Cell. No more of this bullshit Blunder Dome. No more screens. No more fake fan sounds. They're all coming back. The 250 people per stage place that we're going to see. I just kid. Tonight's show reassured something that we all knew, is that SmackDown is the A show, Raw is the B show, and you can't tell me otherwise because the booking for tonight's show was night and day compared to Raw and SmackDown. Raw had 3 matches on the main card. SmackDown had 3 matches on the main card. Raw had 3 matches that had either shit finishes or shitty booking for the entire match. While SmackDown had some killer matches that, if Roman would have been on here with Rey Mysterio, just would have show would have been just that much better for the rest for it. But tonight they started on the pre-show with Natalya versus Mandy Rose. This is an interpromotional match because the tag team champions are SmackDown and Mandy Rose is on Raw. So this match is happening because over the last few weeks, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke have been trying to get a tag team title opportunity and just haven't been able to do it. They had verbal sparring with the tag team champions last week. So yeah, that's what gets us to tonight. And it was a decent match. I'm not going to sit there and say it wasn't. Mandy Rose, it's honestly, Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke are at the point where it's like, you can interchange both of them and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. But Natalya did everything that she could to get this match to be what it could. And Natalya wins with the sharpshooter. So, getting her uncle's finisher out there to use again and again. So, what's that mean for anything else? Who knows? Who really cares? Then we move to the main card and we start off with the Hell in a Cell for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Now, I went into the show saying this match did not need to be in Hell in a Cell. If anything, Cesaro and Seth Rollins, the way their feud has been and how personal it has been, deserve to be inside Hell in a Cell. But boy, oh boy, did the ladies go out there and show you that they deserve to be inside Hell in a Cell. This was a great match. These two went out there. They kicked each other's asses. They beat each other up. They put themselves to tables. We had a spot where, remember, they called back the last year's Hell in a Cell and all the mistakes Bayley made from trying to use a kendo stick in between the ropes and the ring last year. Didn't work out, so she had 2 taped end to end. She even told Michael Cole to shut up because they saw what happened last year. And then she got put through she stacked 2 up and she got put through them by Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair actually at one time tied her hair to Bayley's hand because Bayley kept trying to use Bianca Belair's hair for all the advantages that she could, which, yeah, didn't work out for her. The match came to an end. Awesome. Belair stacks the ladder on top of Bayley. Bayley then goes to the top. Belair goes to the top and flies, but rolls through as she looked like she was going for a stomp. Belair with a big senton smashing Bayley's back on the ladder. Belair opens the ladder's legs up. While the ladder is laying on one side, Belair grabs Bayley, puts her in the KOD, and drops her with the KOD onto the ladder to win and retain. These two women went out there, and this was the best women's match. This is one of the best matches of the night. There were 3 women's matches on this show, and this was by far, if you're just going with women's matches, this was the best women's match on the show. The other women's match was a massive disappointment with a massive disappointing ending, and of course, Shayna versus Alexa Bliss. We're going to get into that later. So, back in the break, and Megan Moran is backstage with SmackDown Women's Champion Bianca Belair. She says her first time to sell was brutal, but she kept her title. She admits Bayley kicked her butt, but she will never forgive her. And she walks off. And he also plugged tonight's main event. We see MVP and champion Bobby Lashley backstage hanging out with Lashley's hoes. Alexa's backstage with the playground saying, "What a painful night for Bayley, but a great one for Bianca. She's glad everyone has joined her in hell, in a cell." Says Lily is still in her timeout because how naughty she was. It's not as naughty as her opponent tonight and brought on all this on herself, and Bliss isn't to blame for what all is about to happen. Bliss goes on and says, "You never know who or what will answer when you knock on her door." Good grief, I don't even want to get into this, but we'll get into it later. Thankfully, we get to another good match as Big Dick Tony Cesaro takes on Seth Rollins. This was a good match. Now, their match at WrestleMania, of course, was way better because of the fans. Big moment, big match. This was just a B-level pay-per-view that literally probably a lot of people didn't give a shit about. But they went out there, again, had a fantastic match. Beat the hell out of each other. Seth Rollins gets his win back, gets a win. Now, Cesaro, because you could tell Seth Rollins was winning this match because when they want to start promoting this match during the show, it's like this feud has been relatively one-sided, and you got to know right then and there. Seth's not winning. Cesaro's not winning this. Plain and simple. So, fun match here. Rollins reaches for the bottom rope, but Cesaro pulls him back, and he's in the sharpshooter. The hold is broken, but Cesaro stomps on Rollins' limbs. Rollins catches what looks like for another sharpshooter, or maybe the swing. Rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins gets the win. After the match, he heads to the floor as the music hits. A disappointed Cesaro sits up in the ring and looks on as Rollins regroups at ringside. We go to replays. Rollins limps around and makes it his exit. Cesaro looks on from the ring. Rollins laughs from the stage now. We get a promo. The July 18th Money in the Bank preview match, which will be in Fort Worth, Texas. We are no longer in the Blunder Dome, which will be fucking great. Oh, it'll be so great. We get a video of the next match, which is just this was terrible. Sarah Chavez backstage with Shayna Baszler, but not. Which, by the way, I did like what Shayna Baszler was wearing. It was all white with black, and it looked awesome. So, here comes Alexa Bliss versus Shayna Baszler. Nia Jax and Reginald out here, so you know some kind of voodoo magic is going to happen. And Shayna's doing all of her joint manipulation. Alexa Bliss is laughing it off, so way to bury that. She does the stomp on the arm, which has hurt and injured a lot of people, including the likes of Dakota Kai. And Alexa Bliss screams for a minute, but then she starts laughing. So again, way to bury the badassness of Shayna Baszler. Shayna Baszler goes back from joint manipulation, and she doesn't want to look at Alexa Bliss. And Alexa's just like, "Look at me!" Screams at her and everything, and then takes her down to the outside. She goes to the outside. Reginald and Jax go to check on Baszler. I keep mixing names up. But on Baszler, when Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax make eye contact. And they're just staring at each other. Then Bliss raises one hand. Nia Jax raises the hand. Which, I hate this fucking gimmick, because if you're going to raise the left hand and I'm being hypnotized, I'm not going to raise my right hand, I'm going to raise my left hand. But she raises the hand. Reginald tries to get a snap out of it. Alexa Bliss gets her to slap Reginald across the face. They both do a big scream. Belair gets back up, puts her in the Karafuda for a second. She gets out of it, hits her with the DDT, goes up top, hits Twisted Bliss, 1, 2, 3, and Alexa Bliss beats Shayna Baszler. Women's Evolution right there. Voodoo Magic wins a match. And we're all supposed to care. I cannot fucking wait till we get to Fort Worth, Texas. And Alexa Bliss is in the Money in the Bank, Women's Money in the Bank. And they're shitting all over her fucking magic. Shitting all over this. Just booing her out of the building. I used to be a fan of this shit. When they started doing the whole Alexa and Fiend thing, it was good. It was great. It was showing character building and character range for Alexa Bliss. And now it's just crap. And it has been crap for months. It's time to end this. Just time to end this. Then we move on to Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, the final SmackDown match of the night. And I'm just going to be honest here. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. Even before they got to WWE, they have been feuding for at least the better part of a decade and a half. Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, El Generico, Kevin Steen, doesn't matter which name you want to call them. They have been fighting each other for so long. And WWE we saw them at WrestleMania. Well, I don't want to see it again. Honestly, one of them needs to go to NXT or Raw and get the fuck away from the other and stay away from them for the rest of their fucking careers. They put on good matches, yes, but I can't get into it. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens are two great workers, but I just can't get into the same two guys wrestling each other all the goddamn time. Sami Zayn gets the win with the Haluva kick. Good on him. Sami recovers and stands tall. He celebrates. He says there's going to be no more problems. It's all justice has been served. Yada yada yada. We see a replay. We see highlights of the Hell in a Cell from Friday, which everyone is probably in agreement that match should have been here instead of probably half the matches that were on this show, especially anything from Monday Night fucking Raw. Speaking of Monday Night Raw, we have the Charlotte 9000 taking on Rhea Ripley. This match was the case of shitty fucking finish. Shitty finish. Again, WWE does not give two fucks about Monday Night Raw. So they just go out there and I can't even. Charlotte wins by disqualification. Ripley slides out of the ring, gets up to get out of the figure four because she hit the riptide. She hit the fucking riptide and could not get the win because Charlotte had her foot on the rope. So Charlotte attacks the leg, gets her outside, kicks her leg a little bit. She gets back in the ring, puts in the figure four. Rhea Ripley is able to get to the ropes and pull herself out of the ring to stop the submission. So Flair approaches Ripley, yanks off the top of the announce table, barely touches Charlotte in the face, and the referee calls for the match. They're lucky this didn't happen in front of fans because that would have got fucking booed and people would have eviscerated them for that. That's the finish you come up with? Just so we can get this to Money in the fucking Bank. That is all they're going to do. Is drag these along. We had Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre for like the last 3 pay-per-views. We have this one now. I just can't even with this company. So Monday Night Raw, shitty finish after shitty finish after shitty finish, shitty booking after shitty booking. Oh my goodness. So then the bell rings. Ripley stays on Flair at the ringside area. Referee tries to get her off. She unloads on Flair. Rolls back in the ring. Ripley follows, but Flair tackles her. And they keep rolling. The feed comes. Flair gets sent into the face first into the middle turnbuckle. Ripley slams Flair into the middle of the ring with the riptide. Ripley goes to the ringside to grab the Raw Women's title. Mike Roman announces that Flair is the winner by disqualification, but still Women's Champion, Rhea Ripley. Ripley raises her title at ringside and the music hits. Ripley heads to the ramp with her title as Flair talks trash from the ring. Who's the fucking heel in this thing? They're both heels. You have Charlotte 9000, who is better off as a heel, playing a heel, and then you have Rhea Ripley, who is also a heel, hitting her and winning and keeping her title by heel tactics. Who am I supposed to fucking cheer for? Again, more shitty booking, but that's not the end of the shitty booking tonight because we have Drew McIntyre versus Bobby Lashley inside Hell in a Cell. Now, besides the finish, this was a really fun Hell in a Cell match. These two beat the ever-loving shit out of each other. It's like you go in this match, it's like, we've seen this enough. It's a Hell in a Cell, but is it warranted? Do we need to see this again? These guys and Drew McIntyre wants to make sure that he has the best match of the night. Even though I think Bayley and Bianca Belair overall had the best match of the night because they had a clean finish. Anyway, you had kendo stick shots, you had chairs, you had tables. There was a time where the cane came in. Bobby Lashley got the cane through the a hole in the cell. They got a kendo stick, propped the kendo stick to keep Drew McIntyre in place, so Bobby Lashley could beat him up. Then the referee gets knocked out. Did we need a referee bump? No, but it's a Hell in a Cell, and that's what they want to do. So Drew McIntyre hits the Future Shock, should have the win. He tells the referee on the outside to come into the ring to make the count. Referee gets into the ring, into the cell, and so does MVP. Somehow the referee wasn't sly enough to be able to open the cell, get in there, and get out and close the door before MVP could get in. So McIntyre's got the win. 1-2, MVP pulls the ref out, and Drew McIntyre gets MVP, beats the shit out of him, hits him with the Claymore, takes him to the outside. You think that's it for him, but no. Sly MVP. So Drew McIntyre and him and Bobby Lashley go back and forth trying to end each other with each other's finishers and whatnot. Drew McIntyre looks to have the match won, goes to the Claymore, but MVP gets back up, holds his leg. Bobby Lashley comes over, rolls him up. 1, 2, 3. Are you serious? They ended a fucking Hell in a Cell via a fucking roll-up. A roll-up! I don't even know what to say. This company's just shitty booking. You took a great match with a terrible finish. I don't care if Bobby Lashley retains. That's fine if they want to go with that. If they have somebody who is able to go up against him, who is a babyface, and who is ready to challenge him. But you couldn't find a better way to do it than that? This company is so fucking bankrupt mentally on Raw. Now, SmackDown had 3 matches and they were great. Good to great. Raw had 3 matches and they all fucking ended up sucking. But what else can I do? That is your Hell in a Cell review. Hit that subscribe button, comment down below, like or dislike this video. Find me on Minds at the Frowns Club. Find me on twitch.tv/the Frowns Club. And find me on Instagram at the Frowns Club. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for the follow-up to Monday Night Raw's shitty part of this pay-per-view. This would have been a great pay-per-view if it wasn't for Monday Night Raw.